Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Tell me something.
Do you know what the opposite of your friend telling you that the game is good and you buy it and it's bad is?
Your friend telling you the game is bad and you buy it and it's good.
No, it's the game telling you your friend...
The game tells you your friend sucks.
Listen, I played a good game because Zero out in the real net said it was good. Have you heard of 1000 Times Resist?
I have heard of it, and it is on my Steam wish list for next time I want to play a narrative-based weird game.
Now, I'm paraphrasing here for this narrative-based weird game. You are correct on that, but I'm paraphrasing the Bullet Points podcast today that talked about the game and allowed me to summarize it in 2 key meets point, right?
Meets?
Like object meets object.
Okay.
Like a combination of ideas.
Yes.
It is this line from Ulysses: history is the nightmare from which I'm trying to awake, meets the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 with the burden of memory and how we distribute information in the future.
Okay, I love it.
What you're allowed to forget.
I love it.
I love it.
Like, I'm not hesitating when I say this is the most joyous ball I've had with a game in... Like, when I wrote reviews, the one thing you never wanted to say was the best game I've played in year since when, because it means you don't know what you're talking about, because then you never play good games.
Yeah.
Whenever you just pick a random point in time to compare something to, you sound like you're full of shit because you can't name anything else. Mm-hmm. However, it's the best game I've played this year. I had a wonderful time with it, and I get my stamp of Eric's stamp of endorsement of I'm hype about this. And I wish this was our full-time job so we could do this with that game.
Do that for this game. Go to patreon.com/retroam and give us $120,000 and we'll do that game.
Yeah, that game is, all the dialogue is voiced, so I would not be able to control myself at all. So don't do that, but also do that, please. Thank you.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about classic Japanese role-playing games we discussed them chapter by chapter, beat by beat. My name's Chris. I'm joined by Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
This is Season 6. We're covering Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. I don't know if you knew that or not.
2 games, same time.
Yeah, 2. Yes, that's how we do things here. We are, if nothing, we are comprehensive in our coverage of this game and its 2 competing localizations. One clear winner, though. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live on a secret video feed at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion who burned her retinas off while trying to play Telero Boxer on the Virtual Boy.
Initializing FakeNet.
It was my first day with eyeballs, and they were ruined before I even got to enjoy them.
I didn't know the FakeNet had retinas.
Yeah, well, had retinas.
Had retinas?
They're
okay.
now burned through by the searing red lines.
Cool.
Of your favorite Punch-Out simulator.
I love simulating my punches out. What? We last left off getting a battle dictionary.
Great. How exciting.
And then meeting a new friend, sort of. Ramza shook hands for the first time, and we are en route to...
Yeah, is that ever, what the fuck was that? We didn't actually unpack that. Has he never shook a hand before? Is this a custom that, Orin is spreading because he is a peaceful nature?
I think he's just surprised to be treated like a regular person, maybe.
I guess, because I was like, well, maybe it's like a gun custom, because shaking hands, allegedly parody, was how you show your opponent that you have no gun, right? And Orin had a gun, but Mustadio didn't shake hands with anybody.
That's true.
So I don't know what's going on. We have to solve the mystery of the handshake. Chris, investigate every rumor. Find out about how shaking hands has spread.
I will do that. But first, I'm going to Lesalia, Imperial Capital. I think we're on our way there because Ramza is trying to go talk to his brothers about stopping the fucking war.
Yeah, but Ramza's a fucking criminal. I don't know what he's doing here. I was like, well, you're going where? Stupid. By the way, it's what'd you call it? The Imperial Capital?
Yeah.
I think you mean the Royal City of Lesalia.
That sounds nicer.
Mm-hmm. Music Dycedarg's theme plays, and Ramza appears to be standing in Zalbaag's office.
I like how Dycedarg's theme is playing and we're in Zalbaag's office.
Once again, dude, they can't keep this stuff straight.
Well, in their defense, Zalbaag's theme is much more hopeful and knightly, and Dycedarg's theme is scheming and scenario guyish.
Yeah, there's a reason why it leads off the insult list. Zalbaag is sitting at a wooden table with paper and quill before him. 2 coats of arms are on the nearby column stone walls, and I think behind Zalbaag is a fireplace with a map on the wall above it.
Do you know what I think of when I think of a high bookshelf like there are in this office? Whenever I see a bookshelf that goes
There's
to the ceiling.
secrets behind it and stuff?
Wizards live there.
Wizards live there.
Mr. Wizard lives there.
Man. What do you think about, do we have any friends who have active fireplaces? And if so, have you ever seen a map above their fireplace? What do you think about, like, I've framed a map, guys, and a map of a real place, not a fictional place?
I feel like I saw a frame map recently, and I said, that's a nice map. Oh, it was at a family member's house.
There you go.
It wasn't framed, though. It was just like a mural kind of thing, and it was beautiful because I think the guy was a pilot, and it had like routes and shit.
See,
it was cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is my Optimus Prime. If you're a pilot, you've got your fucking map routes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I like that.
I have a fireplace, but we don't really use it ever, so.
Have you ever used it before?
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't
Functional fireplace.
I don't have a map.
What is above the fireplace? Do not say Gundams.
There's no Gundams upstairs.
Okay.
You think I'll be allowed to put
No, I don't.
I did have that one of those Ninja Turtles up there for a while, but I was forced to remove it.
No, it's in Dad's basement. Sorry.
Yeah. To answer your question, I don't know what the fuck. A picture or something. I don't know. Live, laugh, love.
Fake net, what is above Chris's fireplace?
Initializing fake net.
A wooden carving of a fleur-de-lis that Uncle Skippy made.
Live, laugh, love. The dismissiveness in which you said your Garden Ridge inspirational quote, room decor. Roms is here.
Yeah.
Zalbaag opens normally and formally. Sit, won't you? You surprised me, Ramza. I did not think to see you in Lesalia. Alma is here, you know. I'm sure she'd be delighted to see you. I really want Ramza to open with, hey man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But instead, Ramza does not. He remains standing. He doesn't say anything. He kind of stammers, then outright tells Zalbaag what's on his mind. Can you not end this fighting?
Did you see during this that Zalbaag was too unbothered by Ramza's presence that he still had to like write some shit down with his fancy fucking pen?
Well, I mean, if you've got your quill out, you don't want to waste the ink.
That's
like, you'll make a damn mess. Your like regal letter that you're drafting up is going to be ruined.
Well done. Okay.
Also, do you picture Ramza coming in here clean or like covered in dirt and blood?
It's only been one day, I think, since we murdered all those thieves. So
on the rooftops.
I would imagine he's probably still bloody.
Yeah, I mean, this is an age when only the wealthy people don't smell like absolute trash.
Yeah.
Zalbaag can't believe this shit. He says, what nonsense is this in my game? Ramza takes a step forward, armed with logic and reason. What purpose can it serve? We Beelves have ever fought to defend the people, not simply the crown. And now we fight for no more than our own glory.
Does Ramza think that this is going to work, or is he just doing it because he feels like he has to?
He's doing it because he believes his name stands for honor. And he sees dishonorable things happening every day. And also, isn't Ramza wanted?
Not yet.
Okay. He's not been involved in crimes against this side. It's the other side still. He killed Gafgarion, dude. I mean, like...
He killed Gafgarion, but Gafgarion...
you know what I mean? Like, that was the boys of these boys.
I don't think that Dycedarg can openly be associated with
Zalbaag.
Well...
Oh, Dycedarg. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because I don't know how involved Zalbaag is. I think Dycedarg's the one pulling the strings from the perspective of the brothers.
You know, I only recently thought about that. I thought it was just two idiot shithead brothers that were combined forces for like a boss fight later, but I really do think Zalbaag may be dumb enough to not know what's going on.
And I'm saying that solely based on their themes, the music.
Oh, just the music alone? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Zalbaag tells Ramza that Ramza speaks of things he does not understand, and Ramza counters, Zalbaag is the one who does not understand. All of this war, has been plotted for some unseen purpose. Duke Larg and Gultana are only puppets in some shadow play.
So is Ramza becoming like scenario aware now?
I think so, because he also knows about the magic rocks, but he knows he can't lead with that because it's too fucking crazy.
Is he secretly trying to fashion himself as a scenario buster?
Unconsciously.
Okay.
He's the only person who can still perceive injustice.
Seems that way. Him and Orlando.
Yeah, surely they won't team up later. Dycedarg basically gives Ramza an LOL, what is a shadow play? But then Ramza tilts his head down and lays out all of the evidence thus far. I do not know. Our Lord Brother planned the princess's abduction to prevent Duke Gultana from becoming regent, but someone intervened. Princess Avelia lives and is now in Gultana's care. Had the assassination succeeded, the crown would surely have named Duke Gultana a traitor and rallied its banners against him. Zalbaag takes great offense at the sullying of Dycedarg's name. He stands up and says, do you stand here accusing our brother of having some hand in this business with the princess? You think a man of your own blood capable of such a thing? And I mean, yeah, that is the conclusion we keep coming to, but I suppose it is helpful to have one of the idiot brothers deny this in person.
That's true.
Go against Ramza, like, are you insane, dude?
Is Ramza starting to understand that his dumb brother is just as dumb as he personally is?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Ramza gets in the taken aback position and asks his dear brother, so you knew not of this, Zalbaag. And you propose that that's possible, Chris. That Zalbaag has no idea of any of the greater machinations here.
I think it's possible that maybe he's like a He has the clearance level of like middle management right now, maybe.
So Dycedarg is the only one that's truly fuck-pilled here.
Dycedarg is the only scenario guy in the family.
Well, we don't know because Zalbaag moves to throw Ramza out of here. Enough, who have you become that you do not trust your own family? Be gone from my sight, return to Igros, and trouble me no more.
Don't you trust your own flesh?
That's what he's asking, right? I mean...
That's what he says.
Yeah. Oh, and yours?
Yeah.
Literally. As Ramza's world continues to shatter, he says his feelings out loud. You speak of trust, Zalbaag, and yet you show me none in kind. Zalbaag cements his position as another noble obsessed with aristocratic right to rule. What have you ever done to inspire my trust? The mistake was my own until the day I had looked on you as a true brother. But your mother's common blood forever stains you common. You are not fit to bear the Beowulf name.
Zalbaag may not be aware of some of this higher level stuff, but he is still completely bought into
the aristocracy is the true.
Yeah, nobility stuff, yeah.
Chris, let's go back over Balbane's dying words to Ramza specifically.
Mm-hmm.
For generations, we Beowulfs have stood foremost of those who serve the crown. Ours is the soul of the knight. Become a knight worthy of your name. Tolerate no injustice. Stray not from the true path. You will know the path you must walk. A Beowulf can walk no other.
That doesn't seem to be true, though, because the other Beowulfs are walking other paths.
That's what I'm saying. Is Ramza the only true Beowulf?
Must be.
Ramza is stunned. He can't believe that shit. Before we can approach any kind of resolution, a northern sky knight appears with urgent news. The thunder god has broken through our lines at Deguera Pass.
So I guess after all that posturing, TG Sid just went back out and started fucking shit up.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, man. We're going through it. Now Zalbaag can't believe this shit. It's impossible. He was supposed to be at Beselit. Summon the war council. All of them. I go at once. At this point, I have lost track on who's on what side, Chris. Is that good? Is Zalbaag supposed to know where Orlando is and what he's doing?
Orlando's on the Gultana side.
Okay.
And the Beowulfs are on the Lark side.
But do you think Orlando actually did that, or this dude just told him Orlando did that? To get him summoned into a war council to go do more war?
Oh, I think it really happened.
Okay.
I don't think there's any reason to distrust that.
Zalbaag exits the scene. He doesn't say shit to Ramza. He just leaves him standing there, and we go back to the world map.
Can't do much there.
No.
As soon as we leave, something happens.
We go to Lesalia Castle Postern.
Oh, you mean the back gate of Lesalia Castle?
What's a postern? Is it a back gate?
It must be a back gate.
Initializing fakenet.
A postern is a back or side entrance.
Music, Alma's theme plays, and Ramza walks out the front door of the castle, but then a voice behind Ramza begs him to wait. Who is it?
It's Alma.
Chris, is there any way Alma is complicit in any of this?
No. She's too pure.
Are there any unpure women in this game?
That's a wonderful point.
Agrius, pure, check mark. Tietra, as far as we know, pure, check mark. Ovelia?
Well, the queen was supposed to be like a murderous person, but not. We haven't actually seen her.
Yeah. Any on-screen women with more than 2 lines?
I don't think so. Just the rank-and-file soldiers. We should also note, too, that before the scene started, we had to fashion a war party. So we know we're about to be attacked.
Yeah, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Alma then shits right into Ramza's mouth, asking him, did you think to leave without so much as a word? My dude turns his neck and looks away, confessing he had never been good at goodbyes. Alma closes her eyes and looks down. She realizes that Ramza won't be coming back. Where have I seen this one before, Chris?
Well, you have.
Ramza,
Chapter 1.
Swikoden.
Oh.
Ramza moves to look over the edge of the wall, and he tells Alma that Delita yet lives. Alma can't believe that. When Ramza tells Alma that Delita helped him to kidnap the princess, Alma says something both funny and vital. Helped who?
In mine, she just says, what does all that mean?
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
with that, that's too many people doing too much shit. I love, helped who? Ramza then presents the current state of his evidence. At first, I thought it'd do Gultana, that Delita had sided with him to spite us, but now I fear he may be working with people far more dangerous still. It is they who wanted to thwart the plot to assassinate Princess Ovelia.
I wish that Alma would follow up with they. Who?
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 Just keep asking that question. I guess Alma knows about some of this because she asked if it's true if Dycedarg planned Ovelia's abduction. Chris, are rumors getting around?
Rumors are getting around, apparently.
Ramza turns to face his sister, telling her, it is. I'm sure he had his reasons, but I cannot see them for the blood. What the hell does that mean? I cannot see my own bloodline for beyond my own bloodline.
I have too much blood in my brother's blood is in my eyes.
I've trusted him for too long.
Yes, he's my brother. I can't perceive this.
When Alma asks about Tietra, which is hilarious, Ramza instantly responds, did not share her brother's luck. Alma covers her face with her hands and begins to cry. It's been months. How has that word not come back about Tietra?
I think it's been more than months.
Yeah, maybe years.
Yeah.
Even?
I think it's been multiple years because I think Ramza aged up from like 16 to 19 or 7. I don't know. He aged up.
Numbers, higher numbers. Ramza then tries to get even more serious. Listen to me, Alma. I know not who guides Delita's actions, only that they are to be feared. I know not what evil lies at the end of this plot. Alma then clasps her hands together, wondering if Delita serves these people. Ramza says that he isn't sure what Delita's motivations are. I am sure that Delita has his reasons as well, if only I could know them. And for acute listeners, yes, I know Suikoden 2 came out years after this. I'm making a joke. Alma lowers her head, realizing that Ramza means to fight these mofos. Alma then boldly declares that she's coming with Ramza.
Oh, she's coming with us. Yeah. The difficulty in this season is I'm following along with your dialogue, but it's a different localization. And sometimes I get confused.
Sorry, I'm trying to put the volleyball up.
No, you're good.
Ramza can't believe this shit, but Alma responds with an impassioned, I want to help you prove the truth of your words. And I don't know if she's coming along right now. Like, this could go either way for me. I'm like, what is this? Are you trying to guilt him, or are we actually taking her along?
I think she's got information.
Okay. So
she's going to give us information.
An
shortly.
information princess.
Yes.
Ramza steps away, looking over the east side of the castle wall, and he says, no, not like this. Alma then gets behind Ramza and starts to shake her fist, like that sisterly Nanami threatening shit.
Yeah.
I would not want my daughter to meet the same fate Tietra has. What daughter? Is this hypothetical daughter?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
In mine, she says, I don't want to see another Teta. She doesn't want to see another situation in which somebody dies for no...
Somebody's taken hostage
for no
and blown
reason.
up in a castle.
And I think Ovelia kind of is that, right? Ramza was trying to rescue Ovelia, and then she got ultimately... I mean, she didn't get killed, but she got put in a position that she doesn't want to be in.
Fully damseled.
Yes.
But then the music stops, the wind blows. As Ramza tries to reason with his sister, a new voice is audible from over the wall.
Yeah?
Ramza Beolv, if I am not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old guy.
Yeah, there's 2 knights and an obvious clergyman.
He speaks. But I have you at a disadvantage. I am Confessor Zalmour Lucianada.
Oh, excuse me. I am Zalmo Rusnada.
Fucking Zalmo Rusnada.
The heresy examiner.
I think you mean the Holy Office of Inquisition.
Okay, I know. He's the
fucking heresy examiner. If I were still on forums, I would want that below my name.
I will examine your heresy if it's the last thing I do.
Business cards aren't valuable anymore, but if we got those for retrograde, I would want that as one of my titles.
Mm-hmm.
I come to bring you before the office on charges of the murder of Cardinal Delacroix and suspicion of heresy.
Yeah.
You will come with us. Should you resist, you admit your guilt and will be executed as a heretic. Fucking curveball. Ramza is truly fucked here, Chris.
He only says, I order you to appear at a heresy hearing on suspicion of murder and heresy. But he does not say murder of Cardinal Delacroix. He just says murder.
Yeah, that's because I was starting to wonder if we're going to have to answer for that particular crime of slaying the Pope.
Yeah, I guess maybe we will.
Chris, are church cops independent from the other conspiracy? Are they just out here doing work like in the movie U.S. Marshals or The Fugitive starring Tommy Lee Jones?
I think that they are adjacent, and maybe even this term is used later in the game. They are adjacent to the Knights Templar. I mean, Knights are of the state.
Sorry, I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while. What are the Knights Templar?
The Knights Templar were like the holy order of knights that...
Knight feds? Church feds?
Yes, they were church feds, but I would assume that they are like... It would be like if you loaned your cops to work at a church picnic.
They all did that anyway. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. That's why I thought of it, because I went to church picnic 2 consecutive nights last weekend.
Sorry about that.
So, and there were a lot of cops there, and I'm like, I was talking to this guy, and he was like, I haven't been to church picnic in a long time. I said, yeah, me neither. Not counting yesterday. He's like, there's cops everywhere. And I said, you know why there's cops everywhere, right? And he said, yeah, because the sun's going to go down soon and people are going to be drinking heavily.
I'm 19 Miller High Lifes in right now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's why we need to get our school-aged children the fuck out of here by 8:30. Anyway.
The door price is at 9. We got to stay.
Did I answer your question about the Knights Templar?
Sure.
Okay. FakeNet, explain the Knights Templar.
Initializing FakeNet.
The Knights Templar are a Catholic military order founded in the year 1119. They were active for around 200 years, but, if we're assuming Assassin's Creed is real, have since taken part in a millennia-long shadow war that has persisted to this day.
Music, bloody excrement plays in Ramza. Hey, here's the church cops. Shit all over them with the music.
Cold-blooded shit.
And Ramza has already arrived at the correct conclusion. If I go with you, I only prolong my death.
He says, in mine, heresy examiner.
That original one makes him way more dumb.
Yeah.
He's so dumb. It is very Fei Fong Wong. It should just be like making the fucking Scooby-Doo confusion noise at every conflict.
Yeah.
Alma turns to Ramza, telling him he should probably get the hell out of here. Zalmour is quick to respond. Then your choice is made. Put this heretic to the sword. Battle commence.
Conditions for winning: defeat Zalmour. A couple of monks have shown up, by the way. So there's
backup.
Knights and monks is the primary enemy here.
But thankfully, Chris, if you spin the camera around, you'll find all of your dudes just on the other side of the wall.
Yes.
Chris, I love the idea that Ramza's squad is always concealed just out of sight and ready for action whenever Ramza inevitably finds himself in another violent conflict.
It's a good idea. It would be interesting if it would be annoying, but it would be interesting if this game made you set a battle party for every situation, but not always make you do a battle.
That's a good point.
Get your guys ready.
Yeah.
Just in case, but it would be annoying to do that, though, I think.
Do you think in the remake of this game, depending on the scale of it, that's going to be announced any day or a year now, that you will have like a list of 10 loadouts you can select from for quick ease of use?
That would be nice, but I don't know. It's impossible for me to predict the amount of effort that they're going to go to improve some quality of life stuff.
If it's just a PSP game on modern platforms, or if they redo this, what level of attention are they prepared to give?
I mean, I think they went pretty deep on the Tactics Ogre remake in terms of like giving some quality of life things and tweaking things, but I don't know if that will be the case for this. I don't know if it even happens.
Bonus episode where Chris and I argue if it's a remake or report.
Good job. Alma is also an active combatant. She's a guest character. Her class is Cleric.
Oh, okay.
She uses the ability Barrier, which is, I think, the same skill that Princess Ovelia used, which gives you a bunch of defensive buffs.
I love killing members of the church.
Me too.
In this video game.
Mm-hmm. In Final Fantasy Tactics. Zalmour is a holy priest, by the way. Any notes about this battle, Eric?
Well, I've got the New Metal Trio and Agrius. Rams is a geomancer. El Nino's a thief on our way to becoming a ninja.
I keep hearing you use Agrius, and
she's got good spells. They kill people.
I encourage you to use Agrius. I mean, by all means, use Agrius.
Like, as I acquire more heroes and myths of legend, I'm tempted to leave my New Metal Trio behind, but they're so versatile. What if they fall behind in their levels?
I have not been, like, my Agrius currently, and I'm at the end of Chapter 3, is like level 17. I haven't been using her at all.
Jesus.
I haven't used her since Golgotha.
What's the popular way to play this game? To like roll your own heroes, or is that only early game shit for noobs? Like, are you supposed to take the heroes that you acquire along the way, the party members?
I think that most people, their first time through this game, if they make it all the way through the game, suffer as much as possible through the first 3 chapters, and by chapter 4 you've got enough of heroes of myths and legends to be able to carry you to the end of the game and not use any of your regular conscripted troops. But I think people that are more experienced in the game, that want to just break the mechanics, tend to use their own people.
The age of New Metal domination is over.
Yes. There's a rail here, and I did a lot of fighting standing on the rail of the stone steps that lead downward.
It's very cinematic.
We're just standing on the rail and throwing shurikens and fireballs and whatnot. Hornst, of course, is the jumping samurai still, but
The jumping samurai sounds evil.
But I decided to start experimenting with some of these sword abilities, so I used one. Hornst says, "Evil souls of the dark, gather here. Kotetsu."
Kotetsu is my favorite selectable character in Saturn Bomberman.
Cool. There's some dialogue in the middle of the battle. Do you have that?
There sure is, but first I got to tell you what Zalmour hits me with over and over.
Yeah?
Stick. He's got a big stick.
Oh, yeah, he's got a Goku rod?
Yes.
Is
that a phallus reference, or?
No, Goku in the old Dragon Ball had a extending red pole.
Okay, so not a phallus reference.
There is a item in this game called the Goku stick.
Really?
Yes.
In your game or my game?
My game.
Crisp's game.
I wonder what it's called in mine.
It's Goku with 2 U's, so it's probably like before Goku was officially localized as, G-O-K-U.
Mid-battle, Zalmour...
Goku! Sorry.
Goku, yes. Mid-battle, Zalmour turns to Ramza and tells him, "Your violence against us is as violence against the gods, but it is not too late. Repent your sins, repent and be spared."
Opposing us is the same as blasphemy.
Yeah, more like Confessor Zealot Chris instead of High Man Zalmour. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ramza wonders why he's been branded a heretic, because he did kill a member of the clergy, so I don't know why he's wondering that. I'm surprised that Ramza is still leaning into the political dealings of this predicament and has more or less skipped over the whole magic rock mutating the cardinal sin thing. Anyway, Zalmour recites the charges. "So you pretend ignorance. You slew Cardinal de la Croix to gain the aura sight he held and offer it to whatever hellspawn you profaned to call a god."
Wow. They just said demon in mine. You gave it to a demon.
Give it to a demon.
You gave the rock to a demon.
They're like, no, man, he was the demon. Ramza then tells Zalmour, well, did they think that like if the corpse of Cook Allen is there, do they think that thing Ramza summoned it to eat Cardinal Delacroix?
If I'm not mistaken, that thing completely dematerialized.
Oh, that's right, and then bounced in the rock. That's right.
Yeah.
Leave no evidence. Ramza tells Zalmour exactly what happened. You cannot be more wrong. The legends of your holy aura site are lies. The stones are magicite. They hold in them the power for evil. The cardinal used this power, and it perverted him into one of the Lucavi. Chris, have you ever seen someone get perverted into one of the Lucavi?
Only in Final Fantasy Tactics.
I love pervert as a verb.
Lucavi?
Lucavi?
Lucavi.
Lucavi.
I don't know, man.
Lucavi sounds better to me.
I think it does too. I wish I would have said it the first time, but I didn't, and we can't go back in time. This podcast is not at all edited.
And that is just a character from Legend of Lore. Lucavi.
The Lucavi?
They're just the espers.
Did Ramza just name drop that? How did he know about that?
I don't know. They just started randomly name dropping it in my game too, so.
I mean, Ramza's seen some weird spells at this point.
It's from the Zodiac Brave story, though, I think. So that's how people know it, because they learned it in school. Like Paul Bunyan and his ox.
Zalmour responds, is it not enough that you murdered Cardinal Delacroix? Must you now slander his name as well? More is the pity. You will only see the name Beowulf washed away in tears. So, still, that doesn't clarify if Zalmour's in on this shit or doesn't know about this shit. Back to fighting. Later, mid-battle, Alma will beg Ramza to flee, as those summoned before the office do not return.
The office of the heresy examiner?
It just says office capital O. I wish it had the rest of it.
Weird.
Ramza basically tells Alma he can't leave without her and she'll suffer the same fate as his, and Alma won't leave to fight that battle alone. Later, I guess when Zalmour's about to die, he tells Ramza, heretics who profane the gods must still face justice. You will meet yours.
Then he vanishes.
Yeah, he gets the hell out of here.
I suspected that Zalmour was going to be somebody that we just outright killed, but he's escaped. We'll see Zalmour again, I guess.
I thought he was next random clergyman. The battle's won.
Congratulations, this battle is complete. You got an ether.
Thank you. Post-battle, we're back at Lesalia Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Music, Ovelia's theme plays, and I wonder if Ramza is going to have to explain why he has killed another member of the clergy on the front steps of Zalbaag's house.
At least Alma was there to bear witness.
Yeah, for a little bit of it, but still.
I'm assuming that in your game, Alma got killed on her first or second turn. There.
I don't think so.
Oh, in mine she got killed, but she doesn't have a countdown timer. She just has the sparkly stars.
Knocked out, you mean, Chris?
Yes.
She got knocked out.
Oh, yes.
And this doesn't happen, but I super wanted like the blood and carnage here, and for Zalbaag to leave on his mission to go meet with whatever, and just see like Ramza covered in blood and holy men dead, and be like, dude.
This game does like display some blood and carnage at certain points.
It's bloodier than I expected for a teen-rated game.
I wish that they would have done that in every battle.
Yeah,
like it would really sell it.
It would. Maybe in the remake.
Yeah.
With, I don't know, you still can't put really blood in T-rated games. Like, you know where the only blood was in regular-ass Final Fantasy VII?
No.
Sephiroth's mouth when you kill him at the end.
Oh.
That's it.
Weird.
Pixel blood. They're both glad to be alive, and on the other side of this, Ramza remarks, as are you. I'm glad. None of this makes sense. How could the Office of Inquisition have learned of the Aura Site? Could the Church of Glabados be the one supporting Delita? What do they hope to gain? Chris, those are 3 questions he asked Alma, and I don't think she'll know the answer to any of them.
Well.
But the question is, can we answer those questions? Chris, could the Church of Glabados be the one supporting Delita?
Yes. I don't think they are, though. I think Delita is acting on his own.
Yes, I think he's using that as cover for access.
Mm-hmm.
How could the Office of Inquisition have learned about the Aura Site? Is the church just totally in on it, or is there church cops not aware of what the Aura Site does?
I feel like based on some things we see later, the church cops are not aware of the Aura Stones, or Aura Site, or whatever you want to call them. I'm sorry. They're aware that they exist and that they need them, but they're maybe not necessarily aware of their powers to turn you into a pervert.
I was going to say, pervert someone into the Lucavi.
Yes.
What do they hope to gain by perverting people into the Lucavi?
It all returns to nothing.
It's fucking soup theory again?
No, actually, I don't think it's soup theory. I think it's a greater metaphor about power and control over people.
That she'll do whatever you can do as long as you get the item to dominate and rule?
Yeah.
Slaughter the innocents along the way. Who gives a shit?
It's like acquiring nuclear weapons. It's the same thing.
Chris, when you go to war, do you make a deal with the devil? Don't answer that. As predicted, Alma has no answers, only more questions based on one recurring AOL keyword. You mentioned the Aura Site. Have you truly seen the stones from the legend? If Aura Site is real, then I think I may have seen it once too.
Oh, shit. He can't believe this shit, and he also does the I can't believe this shit pose right here.
Yeah, he abandons his previous line of questioning. He's like, what? Alma is going to tell Ramza if he agrees to take her with him. Ramza cannot believe that deal. He turns his back on Alma, telling her, you persist in this? Do you think I would risk putting you in such peril again? I will not take you with me. Damn, now Alma turns her back too, and now it's comedy. She crosses her arms. She decides, and I have nothing more to say. Sibling fight, Chris, am I right? Is this accurate to the siblings you see fight every day?
Yeah.
More theatrics than points?
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every single day.
Forever. Ramza turns around and performs the pleading animation, telling his sister, do not act the child. Your very life is in danger. Chris, in your brain thoughts, do you ever catch yourself acting the child?
In my brain thoughts or just in general?
Yes.
I act the child quite frequently.
But not in front of the children.
They're at the age now, they're almost 9. If I act the child, then they are going to point out that I am acting the child.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's one of your cards taken away out of your deck.
And all I can do is say, you know what, you're right.
You're right, you can't have 2 cookies. Go ahead. Get in there, bud. Alma then drops her own idea blast truth bomb. I should think it is. I've acted against the Office of Inquisition. Surely I am a heretic in their eyes. They will come for me as they do you. And when they do you think Dycedarg will protect me? He would never do anything that might endanger House Beowulf. Ramza lowers his head and offers a confession. No, I'm sure our dear brother would not, but you cannot come with me. The danger is too great. You must explain everything to Zalbaag and beg the forgiveness of the church. Chris, is that true? Dycedarg and Zalbaag both suck ass. I can't believe Alma isn't locked in a dungeon somewhere right now.
I don't know. Do you think that the way we picked up this quest, in terms of Alma just happened to have seen the Holy Stone in the basement of the monastery where she studied, is a little weak?
Yeah, I think that they had to find a way to get more stones and get Alma back in the story, because it doesn't make sense that Ramza even comes back here to talk to Zalbaag anyway. I thought that was weird. I
can see that, just because he maybe perhaps feels like he has to at least try.
I mean, if you accidentally killed the Pope, would you go to your previous employer and be like, look, man, you got to get me out of this?
That might be dumb. They did plant the seed of Ovelia knew Alma at the monastery, so that's
true.
That was there, but why and how this kind of serendipitous thing happened on his way out of leaving there is maybe a little weak. I don't know what else you could have done. I'm not an expert in writer, mediator, orator man, but yeah,
that job class isn't here.
Yeah.
Much to my surprise, Alma then tells Ramza about the Auracite, the one I saw. It was in Orbonne, a crystal engraved with the likeness of a virgin maid. Ramza seems to realize not only what this means, but what he must do with it. Virgo, the virgin, Chris.
Yeah.
I must reach it before they do. Thank you, Alma. Now go to Zalbaag and do as I have said. Alma clasps her hands behind her back and asks Ramza, and just how do you think to enter the monastery? You're a heretic, remember? Do you think you will be welcome at Orbonne?
It's like I'm a ninja. I should be able to get in there.
It's like, dude, have you seen what I've been doing? Plus, I know Elder Simon. He knows me.
Mr. Simon's my friend.
Ramza lowers his head, realizing that he's truly perfectly fucked. He lost. He needs Alma, after all. He moves toward Alma and raises his hand, pointing his index finger in the air. Fine, but only until we reach Orbonne. When it is done, you will come home. Alma promises, and Ramza vows to hold her to it. Fade to black.
There was a lot of really good emoting in this conversation. Lots of good busy hands, clothes flopping, clothes movement, hair movement,
flappy
emotion.
boys.
Yes, it was really good. Really well done scene.
I do like how many times he told her, just go to Zalbaag, please. I can't fucking... Do you see what just happened?
Yeah. Well, Eric, I've got some rumors out here now, if you want to hear some rumor.
My ears are open.
Hear rumor. The death of Marquis Elmdore in battle.
Again?
It's a rumor. This rumor isn't even true. Known as the Silver Nobleman to his allies and Silver Ogre to his enemies, Marquis Elmdore was hit by a stray arrow at the Battle of Fuss Plains and died.
Fuss Plains, what a loser place to die.
His people believed in him and thought he was a devout believer in the Glabados Church. Many visit his grave to pay their respects. Since he was the leader that supported the Gultana army, the war effort will be affected.
Who's in that grave? They just kill a random guy and throw him in there?
Yeah, just some guy.
I do like rumors that are 100% false. That actually makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's maybe the first one that we've seen. Orbonne Monastery?
No more rumors, Chris?
No more rumors.
Orbonne Monastery.
Yep. When we click the button on the map, it gives you a choice of the area to go to, but there's only one selection, and it says underground book storage first floor.
Monastery vaults.
Monastery vault sounds much better than underground book storage first floor.
Yeah, underground book storage is very funny to me, but bad.
Yes.
First level is music. Anxiety plays.
Mm-hmm.
Alma steps foot into the monastery, and among the racks and racks of bookshelves are several prone, presumably dead human bodies.
You may call them slain people. It looks like one of them is a white mage and the other one is Simon.
The nearby man in the gold cloak is, as Chris said, Elder Simon from the prologue. We all remember Elder Simon, our favorite character from Final Fantasy Tactics: Prologue. Alma rushes over to him. Alma and Ramza kneel down near poor Elder Simon, and Alma begs him to speak. My man's not dead. He comes to and asks what in the wide world of sports Alma is doing here. Alma tells Simon, fuck that. She wants to know what happened. Simon responds with non-descriptive foreboding. You must leave this place at once, child. It is not safe. Men have come seeking the stone. Ramza puts it all together. This place did have a Zodiac stone, and that's what Alma saw. Man, I get it, but I kind of hate how the Zodiac stones are being set up to dominate the plot. I hope it's blended in well, please God.
If it's blended in as a weapon that is used to seize and maintain power, then I think it works.
That's cool. It's just when it starts perverting people into the Lucavi that I start to raise some.
You gotta have boss monsters.
There's plenty of monsters out in the fuck.
Yeah.
Simon tells us the Virgo stone is one of the crown jewels of Ivalice. It was given to our keeping when Lady Ovelia was brought here for her fosterage as proof of her royalty.
Oh.
How'd they pull that off? Isn't she fake?
Well,
is that just part of the pass to fake off?
They sent her here because they did not want her to discover that she was fake.
Oh.
So they're like, Princess, you have to go here and study. Here's the stone. But why?
That's the best plan you'd come up with?
Yeah.
Not you, but...
Isolate her so that she cannot find out that she's not real.
Well, Chris, that brings us to another question.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a thing of unimaginable value given to prove her heritage.
Yeah.
Chris, what is the most valuable dumb thing you own? Not like a car or a house, but like some shit you have lying around that's valuable.
Some baseball cards.
You can mean sentimental value or monetary value.
I have a small piece of wood that is from the basketball court from the 2013 men's NCAA Final Four.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's upstairs on a little plaque.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That is a real answer.
Yeah.
Man. If only that championship hadn't been rescinded from the record, it might be worth slightly more.
It'll be back.
That seems like something you could like sell to a guy in this city behind an Applebee's more than something you could eBay, but I appreciate the sentiment. Chris, my sentimental answer, my rosebud, is obviously Onslaught the Combaticon, who I got for my 4th birthday. He's missing his head and arm now, but it was my first Transformer.
Oh, your first Transformer was a Combaticon. Interesting.
An actual horse shit, I don't know, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Sonic Adventure Limited Edition, video games, I don't know. So concludes the value hour.
Yeah.
This
microphone?
That microphone, yeah, probably. Well, that's like you can't. That has actual value. Like, that's not horse shit.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
need that. You use that.
I could probably sell it for $300.
You could.
Yeah.
We got backups. Ramza asks the old man who took their stuff. Rather than answer, Simon recognizes Ramza. I beg you, my son, leave them be. Block their way, and they will only cut you down. Has anybody in any JRPG ever told somebody, especially the hero, and they have Destiny, something like this, and they go, oh, okay, yeah, no, let's leave.
Not that I can think of.
Only Rio has the option to just leave.
Oh, just leave. Oh, you mean just leave?
Yeah, just leave.
Yes, he's the only one. Yeah, otherwise your course is set for yo destiny.
This made me want to design a kind of mock JRPG where you just have the option to leave devastating conflicts and see what happens.
That would be really cool.
It'd have to be like a Twine game or something.
Yeah.
But from a dark doorway just below our heroes, we hear a man's voice say, "Where's the bloody stone?" Another man tells him to be patient. It's here. They just have to look harder. A third man's voice tells his buddies they need to get down to the lower vaults. Chris, at Goon School, don't they teach you to take a knowledgeable hostage and force them to locate the thing you're trying to burgle?
Yeah, that's true. These people must not have gone to Goon School.
I don't think so. Which, if you're sending your best out here to acquire the magic rock, wouldn't you want, like, a better plan than knock out Elder Simon?
Yeah, that's true. And
amateurs here,
I'm trying to remember who, based on who leads this group, I think we are dealing with amateurs.
A frustrated Ramza tells Elder Simon, I am branded a heretic and hunted by the church. Am I to assume the stones I now possess are the reason? Who are these men? Please, I must know. Simon finally clarifies all the current known machinations of this plot. Very well. Can I picture Simon like bleeding from the eyes while he says this?
Yes.
Very well. High Confessor Marcel and his followers seek to restore the church to prominence. As a first step, they have set Dukes Larg and Goltana against one another to whittle down their military might. The longer the fighting lasts, the weaker the dukes become, and the more the people lose their faith in the crown. So this is a bit what the opening council debated about. No, just keep the war going. Fuck it. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Simon actually provides us some valuable context here because we weren't quite sure what the church's affiliation was with either side of the alliance.
Chris, it's always the dang church. Lose faith in the crown, gain faith in God, elect Jesus, king of your life.
Yes. I saw a guy with a shirt on the other night at the Catholic Church picnic that said, "The only people that would die for you are Jesus and a veteran." Which I don't think that's
a church picnic uniform.
Huh?
That's a church picnic uniform.
It is a church. Yeah. That's not an explicitly like a Catholic uniform, though.
Oh no,
that's a church. Picnic.
It's a church picnic uniform for sure. Need to psychically recover from that. I handled it well in the moment.
I tried to get a picture of it, but I was used too far.
You don't want to see that guy taking. You don't want to. If he saw you taking his picture, he would not die for you.
Yes,
he would do the opposite of it for you. I wonder if I was supposed to be confusing the warring Duke factions because none of that made organic sense to me. The church muddling it is kind of a neat twist to me. Anyway, Ramza does not seem shocked by that information, but he does wonder what the point of it all is. And by gathering these stones and reviving the Zodiac Braves, what do they hope to gain from such a show? Excellent question, and Elder Simon has an excellent answer.
Yeah, I'm curious.
The support of the people.
Yeah, to gain the people's trust is what he says. So, but I don't understand how turning into the pervert can gain the people's trust.
Well, they're not supposed to see you turn into the pervert. You turn into the pervert when you're like out of other options, and it's like the Power Rangers summoning the Megazord. It's like, we got this happened again. I must become the pervert.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm okay. So they can use the myths and legends to show people that the myths and legends are indeed true, and they should trust them for their salvation.
I think so, and that's my next point. Can churches, can they exist? Can they appeal to the proletariat without various supernatural stones and magic relics?
I think that... Are you talking about like in modern context?
In real life or in JRPGs?
Okay, in real life, in modern context, yes and no. I think churches can still appeal to people. Nowadays, maybe not necessarily for, come worship the holy stones and learn the truth about the world, but more along the lines of like, come here and be part of this community.
That's what my follow-up is. If not, are they just social clubs with insane rules about membership and gatherings?
Yeah. And I think the more insane the rules, the more insane the people.
I don't know, man. I mean, transmutating the blood and body of Christ every single Sunday, it doesn't necessarily sound like sane on its topic, but it's been so normalized that it's like, I guess that just proves your point.
Yeah, but the sense that I've always had with Catholic Church is that like, there's a certain level of kayfabe that is being maintained in church.
Kayfabe's an excellent word. Holy shit.
And
yeah, it's like someone, we're not really doing this right, and like winking at you.
And I think maybe only like 3 or 4 people in the church ever actually believe that that's actually happening.
But there needs to be
and the priest isn't one of them.
The teacher, like, chiding the same kid who drinks all of the wine every time isn't one of them.
Yeah.
As long as the church has a successful 1% belief rate, it can continue to function.
No, they just want your fucking money so they can continue to exist.
Yeah, that's true of most things.
In a lot of cases.
In most cases. Let's go with the not all cases.
Patreon.com/RetroAM.
Both sides case plays.
Yeah, fuck it. We're actually playing it this time. Ramza asked for additional clarification, citing all the wild shit he's seen. Truly, the Cardinal used his stone to infuse himself with the strength of the Lucavi. If such is not the power of the Zodiac Stones, is it a power to rival that of any army? Is that strength not what the High Confessor seeks?
Funeral wants that power?
Yes, the church army. No precedent for that in the Middle Ages, Chris.
No.
Simon doesn't give up any more lore information, instead choosing to reminisce some enduring thoughts about Balbanes. You are unlike your brothers. You remind me a great deal more of your late Lord Father. You may well have what is needed to put a stop to their ambitions. Chris, Elder Simon is now Peppy. He knew my dad and he thinks I have potential.
Yeah, Peppy, what's Peppy's last name?
Hare.
Peppy O'Hare?
Hare.
Peppy Hare.
Hare.
You're becoming more like your father.
Falco Lombardi.
Slippy Toad.
All right.
How come Falco's last name isn't
He's named after
Falcon?
A football coach.
Falco Falcon. What a confidence booster that must be for Ramza. The dying elder Simon tells me that I'm the shit.
Yeah.
That's all he needs. Ramza stands and looks at Alma and he tells her to stay here. He's going after them. But Alma wants to come along, of course. But finally, Ramza has a perfect reason for Alma to stay back and guard the base. We cannot leave Elder Simon here alone. Find a safe place to hide. Wait there until I return. There's a moment of hesitation, but it works. Alma agrees. Ramza hands his magic rock over to Alma for safekeeping, which is a decision I don't agree with. Ramza also tells his sister, if I fail to return, cast it into the Burgros Sea.
Burgrosia Sea.
Alma takes a knee, signing off with, it pains me that I can do no more at times like this. How I wish I'd been born a man like you. And I wanted to be like, have you seen the new metal trio? They're all ladies.
Yeah, have you seen Cindy and Sally? They're fucking shit up constantly.
In Selfie.
At this point in time, Cindy is a dancing monk.
I think Alma must mean a part of the aristocracy and not like a woman in this context, because women can do plenty of weird shit out here. Anyway, Ramza offers words of reinforcement and comfort, telling Alma, don't be ridiculous. Who would I ever turn to if I didn't have my little sister? Boo.
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 Ugh. Ramza screams to take Simon to safety and we fade to black. By the way, other people in this room are also face down, and it's very funny that no one, not even Simon, felt compelled to go check on them.
No, those white mages are expendable.
We got plenty of those. There's a whole factory for them.
Make a party.
Save point.
Save point.
Data screen.
Monastery Vault, second level, music remnants plays.
Underground bookstore, second floor.
We're looking at a dank cellar area. There are a lot of steps to a few different levels. It's loaded with a new gang of onerous cretins, and they're decked out in purple gear.
Yeah, church purple, right? 3 dragoons, a chemist, and 2 time mages. Is this going to be hard? There's also a Vormav-looking ass guy in here. He's got the same kind of armor as Vormav. I don't remember what he's called in your game.
Knight Templar Isilud?
Yeah, his name's Isilud.
Oh, do you mean Fulmarv?
Fulmarv, yes. He's got the same kind of armor on with like the
Fulmarv-alike.
The brass armor and the
That's
sash.
funky armor.
Yes. Anyway.
He's already barking an order. Hold this passage until I return. Isilud then disappears into a nearby doorway just as Ramza and his dudes make their entrance. Ramza plainly tells his crew, we must put them to rout. They cannot be allowed to take the stone. Objective, defeat all enemies, battle commence.
Kill them.
Chris, I'm rolling in with the new metal trio, Arithmetician, Samurai, Onion Knight.
So you're going arithmetician with no preparation, right?
That's correct. And this was the first job I did with them, meaning they had no skills.
Yes. Arithmeticians, or AKA calculators, take a ton of prep work in order for them to be useful. They are perhaps the most powerful class in the game, or at least their abilities are, and they require a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you probably couldn't do shit.
Nope. And good thing this battle isn't legendarily tough and hard.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw the layout of this, my first note was like, I wonder if I'm cooked because of all of my bullshit. Because I'm rolling with, like, Cindy is a monk with dance abilities. And I was like, is this stupid? Actually, it's really good. But...
oh, how our fortunes have changed.
Yes. Selfie continues to fail to invite the enemy to my team with talk skill. Didn't work. Couldn't invite their members to my team. Wouldn't work.
Woohoo.
Their chemist is named McPherson. One of the dragoons is named Tensberger. And I'm getting my ass kicked right now.
So I got the Onion Knight. You unlock it in War of the Lions, I believe, by mastering... like getting the final level up of any job class. It just opens up the Onion Knight, who's already maximally leveled up. What is with the Onion Knight? It's strange attack tile patterns. How is anyone supposed to predict this shit? Why do I play a harp to attack? This does nothing. Uh-oh. The Onion Knight's power depends on one of the other jobs the unit is mastered. In my case right now, that's 1 Squire.
Great.
So...
Omega Squire.
Well, no, the Onion Knight gets its power based on how many jobs you've mastered. I've mastered...
how many jobs?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I've mastered 1 job. So it has 1 power.
Oh, great.
So I have a useless Onion Knight.
And a useless calculator.
And a pretty good samurai.
Yeah.
It has no abilities. I can't learn any other ones. Oh my fuck.
Yes.
Arithmetician. I was told there would be no math, not in a tactics game. You've already said it uses math-based abilities on CT, level up experience. Height, it does abilities based on height of the character.
No, not height of the character. Height of like where they're standing in the tiles.
Oh, thank God. That's way worse.
Yes.
Algorithmic damage. These Dragoon guys sure love jumping up tall walls in which I have to use the stairs like an asshole. How'd this go for you?
It didn't go great for me, but I started using the nameless dance. I think that's the Selma Hayek Viper dance.
Well, yeah, we'll call it that, sure.
Yeah. And started inflicting random status effects on some of these people so I could kind of like get my bearings straight. And it wasn't doing shit for a while, but after about 3 or 4 turns, I started stopping them, confusing them, turned one of them into a frog, and then the next turn confused them. So there was a fucking confused frog hopping around.
That's great.
And
That's perfect.
That allowed me to basically mop things up with Hornston and Lester, who are still rolling samurai / ninja.
Well, I just kind of...
Reset your game?
No, this took me, I don't want to call it an hour, but we can call it a long time of doing minimal damage and healing over and over again.
Interesting.
Well, my wife yells up, when are we ordering pizza? And I said, as soon as I finish this. I didn't tell her the game has save states. I wanted to finish it.
Yeah, you need to be at a natural stopping point for your mind to work properly.
Yeah, I can't just leave this unresolved.
No.
Well, I killed
Did you
him.
win?
Yeah, Ramses says we have to get to the lower vaults. Victory!
Congratulations, you have won this battle. And for your reward, you have received a battle dictionary. A second battle dict. Now you got 2 dictionaries.
We get to save, then it comes back, and it's time to make another battle party. So right in the next battle, that seems like a great way to screw yourself with save data. Thankfully, I have a lot of it.
Yes.
Monastery Vault, 3rd level, music under the stars plays indoors. And we're in an even darker and even more labyrinthine subterranean structure. Lots of strange columns and maze-like pathways. This should be a fun battlefield. Isolde is already on the mic. The mongrel follows our scent. Mongrel?
Mongrel?
Mongrel.
That mongrel's an
It's
insult.
pretty good.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English Insults Power Ranking.
Mongrel. What does mongrel actually mean?
Well, geez, I didn't write a definition down for that, Chris. We'll have to ask the fake net.
Fake net. What does mongrel mean?
Initializing fakenet.
A mongrel is a dog of no definable type or breed.
So we're going to have to rank this based solely on vibes. If new information arises, we reserve the right to change mongrel somewhere else.
Yes, I believe mongrel in my head to mean a dog of ignoble birth.
A dog of ignoble birth.
A mongrel is a dog of no definable type or breed.
I was thinking maybe somebody who sells fish all day and smells like fish.
It's a fishmonger.
I know, but it has got the mong in it.
Oh, okay.
So it's like...
Universal mong theory.
Yes. You may not mong fish, but you might mong...
You mong something.
You mong some smelly shit.
You've got that mong all over you, son.
All right, well, it's better than gallant fool, cur, whelp, coal, churl.
But here's my one negativity about mongrels. I've heard it a lot before. Not common, but it's not like churl or cur or horse and dog. In my life, I've probably said mongrel before this 3 to 14 times.
Yeah, I'm probably in agreement with you there. So he goes below churl then and above coal.
I like that.
Okay. Unless the definition is something significant that we learn after the fact. Okay, mongrel goes in at number 17, bringing our total to 21. Starting with, at the bottom, gallant fool, cur, whelp, coal, mongrel, churl, he soils our name, dogs my every move, clod, squealer, common maid, winch, courtesan, such wretches, moppets, whoresons, whoreson dog, lack wits, vulgar knave, milksop, rabble, common footpad, and of course, you've been less than we, from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mutter,
His mutter.
in whatever gutta saw you sired. Welcome back.
The mongrel follows our scent. Mayhap it is for the best, heretic. I shall have the stones you carry. Let's get a load of this guy. He still thinks we have the stones. Idiot. Ramza has a pretty good counter here. You will have an offer of mercy and not more. Lay down the stone you've taken, and you may flee with your lives. Rather than comply, Isolde offers an invitation for further violence. I have no more need for your mercy than for you. If you want the stone, come and claim it.
Nice.
Objective, defeat Isolde, commence.
That might be the objective of this battle, but our objective in this podcast is to consult the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Hello, RealNet. Sure is nice to see you again on a Monday night.
Monday Nitro, please.
On a Monday Nitro. Telltale Heart says, is it an urban legend that the arm grip shake was a concealed blade check? Maybe.
What?
Arm grip shake?
Oh, yeah.
Check for concealed Assassin's Creed blades?
It's a universal I'm not carrying a weapon gentleman's agreement. Or a gentle ladies agreement, whatever.
Cool. Kal-El has a map. A framed map on the wall. I don't know what this is.
Of what? Of what?
I don't know what it is, but I'm going to take a guess based on what I know about Kal-El. It's Middle Earth, right? It's got to be Middle Earth.
Yeah, probably Middle Earth. See, that's acceptable. If you have a map of
It says the Westland. Is that a Middle Earth
Ottoman
thing?
Empire, I don't...
There's a little bit of a glare on the picture that John Doe says, I love that Ramza thinks he can tell his bros that fucked up shit is happening and they're going to do something about it. Like his brothers aren't members of a council of guys specifically specialized in fucked up shit. Eric Verdon says, I get why Zalbaag would react that way given all they think of Ramza is he bailed on the family for childish reasons and is only allowed to be a merc on Dycedarg's say-so. Then he comes back out of nowhere going on about a massive conspiracy based on not a whole lot. So you can see their perspective there.
Yeah, it makes sense in that context. Chris, I forgot to tell you, I have a fireplace too. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
But do you know what I have hanging above it?
A map?
A poster of Space Harrier.
Space Harrier is a map. Sort of.
Space Harrier is a map, sort of. You're right.
Telltale Heart says, Bob Barker was the only Bane of Balls I recognize. Maybe Barry Bonds too.
Double B's?
I guess so.
Bobby Bonilla.
Eric Verdon says, the Bane of Balls, the Illuminator of Egros, the man himself.
Bobby Boucher.
It's true.
The badass Billy Gunn. No.
John Doe says, I really need Alma to bust into every scene where scenario guys are spewing vague pronouns and demand specificity. Him. Who's him? Speaking of scenario guys, I was watching the final episode of X-Men 97 yesterday. I think it was a final, maybe the penultimate episode. But anyway, the president of the United States of America is sitting around his war table with all of his war guys. And
his council of fucked up guys?
Yes, and of course also Captain America and Iron Man are there too, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's Marvel, and why wouldn't they be there? He enacts some sort of treacherous plan, and then he sits down and watches on the monitor with the Gendo pose.
Oh, the Gendo pose.
And his glasses flash, and I'm like, yeah,
they did that on purpose.
That's on purpose.
We live in like a postmodern cartoon world
I
now,
know,
Chris.
it's fuck. Telltale Heart says, business cards are dead, but email SIGs are alive, so it's not too late, Eric, to write, sign your name as Heresy Examiner in an email.
So I didn't do this, but we got it. The thing I sent you earlier about joining another podcast network, I wanted to reply. I didn't do this, but I wanted to reply with something like a little snarky, like no thanks or LOL no, and then just put like in capital letters, the Retrograde Amnesia Community Management Team below it, like as if that were the signature. But instead I just hit delete.
The only one of those that I've ever wanted to reply to with some level of snark was when there was one that I kept getting emailing me back over and over again about it, and it was like a podcast promotion place, but it was real fake engagement. It was like they'll put your podcast on an ad for a mobile game to where if they press play on your podcast, they get like coins in their fucking mobile game. I'm like, that's not how I don't want
punishment.
I'm not here to have people press play on the podcast thing. I'm here to have people listen to the podcast.
The numbers don't mean anything if they don't care, if they don't give a shit. I'm not trying to make yes, I am trying to make the numbers go higher. However, I'm more concerned about making a quality product at this point.
When I look at the listen percentage on like the Apple thing or the Spotify thing, I want it to be like close to 90%. And it usually is.
Not like bailing at 32 seconds to get my grape cherry power up.
Yes. I was like,
dude,
do you people have any
souls? No, man, that's not what my spreadsheet says. We have to get these numbers fucking higher.
Shy32 says what I could not summon earlier. The Goku stick is probably a reference to the actual mythological figure Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, whose name in Japan is Son Goku. One of Sun Wukong's weapons is a staff that can extend to any length. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I played Enslaved Odyssey of the West.
There's a new Goku game coming out, too. The Chinese developers making it. It's coming to PC. It's called Wukong. Did you play a Monkey Man?
Okay.
I think it was on one of those things the other day.
I watched none of them.
I didn't even know half the shit. I didn't even realize until like 2 days later that there was a Metal Gear trailer.
Damn.
I watched it today. It looks like Metal Gear.
Can I read a quote to you real quick?
Sure.
So Frank Cifaldi had a series of tweets, which I happen to agree with, which just paraphrase what you just said. Hands up if you stopped watching marketing events and just quietly hear about new games as they come out because your friends like them. I exited the hype train years ago. It's a peaceful life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I do enjoy watching like one of those a year.
Sure. I mean, honestly, if I was having nothing to do, I probably would have thrown one on.
But I feel like the chances of me doing that are becoming slimmer and slimmer every year just because I know I'm probably not going to play most of those games.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. I don't want to be led into temptation to buy something I won't have time for. Not when Racing Lagoon exists, Chris.
That's true. John Doe says the way Magicite is woven into the plot of Final Fantasy XII as essential magic nukes is a much more natural way to work magic rocks into your sword and sorcery political thriller. Mostly because magic rocks that can turn you into a demon seem kind of lower stakes than the fucking Succession War.
I do also, it is that can turn you into a demon. Not that will, but that can.
Telltale Heart says in all caps, the church can't be political, it's the church.
Of course, the church is never political.
WP says there's a freelancer in Final Fantasy V where it's better the more jobs you master. Like the Onion Knight.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Yes. Oh, okay. So John Doe clarifies some mongrel stuff here. Mongrel is a mixed breed as opposed to a purebred. Usually it's used to describe dogs. So when it's used to describe a person, it's pretty racist, right? Or
a commoner in royalty.
Yes, or classist in this case.
Have you ever seen those pictures of the breed of dogs they're not allowed to mix because it produces something too fucked up to live?
What now? Huh.
There's certain breeds of dogs, like, I don't know, a pug and a Labrador. I don't know. I don't know the exact breeds, but our buddy Nick showed it to me because he is a weird dog that's not allowed to have sex with a different kind of dog because it makes like a dog that's like back legs are way too long and it's like a wheelbarrow in the front.
Oh, wow.
If like the certain set of dominant and recessive genes mix, it could produce an abomination.
Oh, Kal-El's map is the Wheel of Time.
No, I'm not familiar. I know it's respected.
John Doe says you wouldn't mong a fish.
That's another possible shirt idea for this show. In that fucking font.
Okay, RealNet, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you on the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia. This episode was recorded on June 10th, 2024. Thank you, Mark,
Shepard.
for the introductory music.
You're welcome, Chris.
And thank you to WorldSyn for the podcast artwork. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. Email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com or go to patreon.com/retroam and give us a few bucks. And in return, we will give you access to the RealNet, early access to episodes or miniseries like God Bless the Ring featuring Godhand or Star Ocean and Star Ocean
First Departure
R, where we did the kind of the same thing we're doing with this game, but it was a little bit more complicated because that game is completely remade versus just a new localization and an enhanced port and stuff. So that was fun. Both sides case. Until next time, Eric.
Saint Ajora spoke of such a utopia. It is the promised land he foretold.
And now you may go back to sleep.
Ramses gets in the taken aback position and asks his dear brother, "So you knew not of this, Zalbaag? My question, is that even possible, or is Zalbaag also a gaslighting fuckwit, or is..." Let me redo that. That didn't make any sense.
Okay.
Alma then shits right into Ramses' mouth.
Alma.
Did I say Alma?
Yeah.
Alma and Ramses, I've shipped them into one person. Two heads.
I've been pretty deep into I've really been into mechanically dense games lately.
Okay, well, this is the opposite of that.
I know, and so I'm waiting for the big tide to turn. You know,
yeah.
For me personally, but right now I'm liking to play Hades and games of that nature.
Gamey games, not talking.
I mean, Hades
games.
has Gades.
Yep, Gades.
Well, yeah,
it's kind of gay.
Yeah, it is kind of gay at times.
Gloriously so.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that game's got some good narrative too, but you know. You want to hear some hot sounds? Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, of course. Okay.
Fine, but only until we reach...
I've got your copy of Xenogears.
Yeah.
That's worthless.
Uh-huh.
I've got...
you got a General Hein figure over here?
I got a General Hein figure. I've got a Donkey Kong plush. I've got some 1/4 scale Ninja Turtles action figures.
Those are pretty cool. I wouldn't call them worthless. Got a lot of Gundams. Got a lot of volumes of One Piece. Got a lot of comic books. You could enter a pawn shop with a handful of these things and start begging for $85. Come on.
Yeah. Got a lot of issues of Daredevil.
Okay. We're escalating in
Got
value.
some Sonic the Hedgehog comic books.
Well, that's not worth anything.
Yeah, actually, those are much harder to find than pretty much any other comic that's going on right now. I just made that up. It's probably true, though.
If they got Blaze the Cat, they're okay with me.
Okay.
You got it?
I found my real answer. All the other ones are going in the outtakes.
Yeah,
okay?
fuck it.
The most valuable, worthless shit I have laying around.
Like stuff that, like, if stuff is starting to collapse, you would go to eBay with this, or something of sentimental value.
I don't have anything really of high monetary value that I could go to eBay with. I mean, I've got a copy of Suikoden 2, but that's not...
That's pretty good.
I mean...
That's some walk-around money.
Yeah, what was that, $200?
$2 to $3.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
FakeNet, how much is that these days?
Initializing FakeNet.
Error code 243-21. I am not obligated to answer questions in the outtakes portion of the show.
Yeah, that's true. There's I don't know how many pieces. It's about this big. And this doesn't play for the audio, but it's about this big. And I actually got a piece of the wood that actually has, it looks like a curved line, so maybe it's the top of the key or the 3-point line or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway.
Luke Hancock hit that shot from that
He
wood.
sweat on that.
Simon recognizes Ramza. He knows he's Alma's. Simon knows who Ramza is. He says, rather than answer, Simon recognizes Ramza. He knows she's Alma's elder brother. Simon knows who Ramza is. He says,
Zalmour is a holy priest. I think I said that.
hey,
Yep.
Oh, continue your thought. Well, I try and keep those to 2 sentences, so that's going to be a doozy.
Okay. And that is just a legend of a character from Legend of Lore. Eric, we left. Oh shit!
Play